What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So we are less than 24 hours out of this year's big man weekend in Spain. And we have to keep in mind, this is gonna be the last men's open bodybuilding show of this year. And I have got to say this will end a very exciting bodybuilding season of this year. And let's start with the last updates of some of the top contenders. Marcelo aka Horse Md is first. Just take a look at that front double biceps in his recent update. I have got to say he does a pretty good job at hiding his wide waistline and making it appear smaller than how it actually is. But it is kinda too bad that he cannot twist that much on the stage. For people who say that Horse Md put on so much size after turning pro that his waist got wider, I have to say this is kinda true, but only to a certain extent, because he never had a small waistline to begin with. Most of the pictures that he posted, even when he was getting ready for his Classic Physique Pro debut, they were taken at a certain angle to make his waist appear smaller. And even then I mentioned this so many times that he has got a wide waistline even for Classic Physique. Now Horse Md is a huge bodybuilder, but his waist has become such a focal point in his physique that it is really hard to ignore. And let us give the credit where it's due. Horse Md's conditioning at this year's prog, that was truly impeccable, and still he was unable to make top 4. Now he's gonna be going up against some of the same competitors that he lost to during the last 2 shows, like Akim Williams, Matthias, and Emir. So this is gonna be another test for him. And how high can he place at his last show of the year? Now again, I cannot help but say, he was one of the most hyped up guy going into this year's Arnold, especially before this year's Arnold. And it is so unbelievable to think that he convinced not only the online fans, but the experts out there that they were predicting that Horse Md is gonna place as high as top 4 at the Arnold this year. But that was certainly not the case. Next up we have one day out physique update from Krystian, who is doing his 7th show of the year. Now it's still not even close to Roman Fritz, who did more than 10 shows in 1 year, and that actually happened last year. But that being said, if I'm not mistaken, Krystian has done more shows than any other open bodybuilder out there this year, and he has placed top 5 multiple times this year. Now I personally think that Volsky looked really awesome at this year's prog, but I keep going back to his New York Pro look, which was his first show of the year, and that I believe was his best look. I don't think he was able to beat that look again this year, and that was a very good combination of fullness and conditioning. Now Volsky has great quads, but his upper body is missing the density, the muscle mass, to match up with the other top guys, especially in some of the front shots. And it does feel like that his quads are kinda overpowering. Just take a look at that most muscular that he posted just a while ago. The first thing to notice is that he needs more chest. Now, it is of course gonna look better tomorrow when he's on the stage, when he's done with the carbs loading. Now that being said, I have got to say this guy has got great potential, especially after the way he compared so well, in terms of the size, against Akim Williams in Romania. Now Volsky did not get his first pro win this year, but he made one hell of a transformation. So really looking forward to his final package tomorrow. Louis Breed can be a real wildcard in this lineup, because he is a polar opposite of a guy like Akim Williams or Andrea Presti, who have size as well as aesthetics. So nothing about Louis's physique says it is pretty or aesthetic. But that is the beauty of bodybuilding. He is a conditioning freak, and he can make some of these guys who are in a really good condition look all soft and watery when they stand next to him. So Louis has been looking so damn ripped throughout this contest season, and no surprise, he looks absolutely ripped to the bone and dry just 1 day out of his last show. But considering he looked so mind-blowing at Europa Pro earlier this year, and still he lost to Andrea Presti and Bruno Santos, that means that if Presti brings his trademark conditioning, he's gonna be the man to beat by most of these guys except for Akim Williams, who is in a different league, who is in a league of his own, and who is the favorite to win this show. Now after that whole controversy with Andrea Presti and his placing at this year's prog, on which almost everyone talked about, all the media, all the bodybuilding fans, I have to say I don't think he will be ignored this time. And on paper he is a 3 times Olympian, and this should actually come down between Akim Williams and Andrea Presti. Next up we have today's update from Andrew Jacked, not looking as round and as full as he normally does. And that does indicate that he is most probably in the detox phase, and he is cleaning out his system. And that is a good thing he should, because he was prepping from Texas Pro all the way till this year's Miss Olympia. for Andrew fell kinda short of his own expectations, and also the expectations of the fans, because after this year's Texas Pro, people were hoping that he might be fighting for the Olympia title this year. And I am not just talking about the fans, I am talking about the experts and the judges as well, who liked his physique so much, especially his finals look at Texas Pro. And even Talmanian mentioned this, that Andrew is just gonna be so damn hard to stand next to, and by everyone in this year's Olympia lineup, including Hadi and Derek and Samson Dauda. Now the head judge, Steve Weinberger, saying that structurally speaking, Samson and Andrew have the most potential out of all of these guys. That is a big statement on which this upcoming Arnold Classic will be hyped up. Because I have got to say, Andrew has always looked so fresh at the start of the year. Now we are assuming that he's still working with the same team, Krystian and Psycho Fitness for 2025. And that is a fair call. It was Krystian who brought Andrew jacked, looking like a Greek god at this year's Texas Pro. And we all know Krystian is an Olympia winning coach. He helped the late Sean Roden win the Olympia title against one of the greatest of all time, Phil Heath, and that too so well. So this upcoming Arnold, that is gonna be like a redemption story, a redemption arc for Andrew Jacked and his team. And let me emphasize again, when Andrew is on, he wins all the front shots, except maybe the most muscular, against everyone in the Pro League, including Samson Dauda. The reigning Miss Olympia Samson Dauda just posted a physique update, weighing 325 pounds. And no one is gonna dare comment that the update is filtered or it is taken through a mirror. And that makes him look so huge, because he just shut everyone up at this past Miss Olympia. Now Samson Dauda is the first bodybuilder in the entire bodybuilding history to claim that 325 pounds. That feels completely comfortable at this point. The man is just built different, because all the other guys who are even close to 300 pounds, they are force feeding themselves to maintain that kind of body weight, to maintain that kind of mass. But just because Samson competed close to 300 pounds, it is of course normal for him, and also for his body, to rebound to 320 plus pounds. And it has only been like 6 weeks since the Olympia this year. Now Samson has been eating clean for most part of the post-Olympia tour. And the thing is, the condition that he is in right now, that does show that he looks extremely conditioned, and that too at such a high body weight. Now, as of right now, it doesn't seem like there isn't gonna be any real challenge for Samson Dauda at this upcoming Arnold. Because ever since Samson Dauda and Andrew Jacked, they started competing against each other. Andrew has never been able to beat Samson Dauda so far. So Andrew knows he really needs to bring something totally special to have a go against a guy like Samson Dauda and to actually beat him. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.